Good afternoon, everyone. It's me, Jessica, and I'm here to guide you through your awesome, amazing mind-body connection today, which is going to be focused on getting our digestive systems functioning properly. We're going to start in just about 2 minutes, I think. 3 minutes in Savasana on the floor. Feel free to bring a block. I encourage you to put on some of your favorite relaxing music. Have some water nearby just in case you need it. Always good to be prepared. Yeah. Thanks for coming. Got the class. Pretty wet outside. You know what I mean? It's so exciting that the sun is shining right now. Fred, I'm coming to bribe you. Gosh, bird. Remember this morning? They pet you for a while. It was like 2 a.m. I sure wish someone else would change your paper. I should. Hey! What the fudge? Now I still have to bribe you. You are not being nice to me this afternoon. Is it because I painted my nails? I don't know. I don't appreciate it. Seriously, she's like a mean little sister. Like a horribly mean little sister. Hello. Hello. Okay. So we're starting 1 minute from now in Savasana. If you have any little movements that you want to take for yourself first, depending on what part of the day you're enjoying. It's been raining so much down here. Maybe you slept in. Maybe you don't want to just come right into Savasana. Maybe you need to give your body a couple stretches. Maybe you've been sitting at your desk, hunched over, and just starting to bring those little twists feels good. We're going to get lots of twists today as we simulate our digestive organs. I'm excited. Who else needs this class? I do. I do. Make sure you're staying hydrated. This week's Way to Go challenge is keeping a food journal. Who keeps a food journal? Look at my awesome nails, you guys. I did a very poor job painting them, and I don't have any nail polish remover. I'm a classy lady. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with that awesome Savasana. Go ahead, lay down on your mat, heels touch, toes fall open, arms relaxed down by your side, and we'll just spend the first couple of minutes of class just changing your breath, changing your mental channel. You can either have your arms relaxed by your side, or maybe one hand on your heart, one hand on that belly that we're going to stimulate big time today. Just start to come into your breath, start to slow your breath down, clearing your mind and your mental desk of anything that you have to do right now besides breathing and being as relaxed as possible. That's all you need to focus on. Feel free to close your eyes. If you do decide to keep your eyes open, find that one spot for a soft, fuzzy focus. Just remember, if your eyes are actively moving, your mind is actively moving. Mind-body connection. So relaxing our body means relaxing our minds. What's going on with the back of your head? How much of the back of your neck vertebrae can you even get relaxed on the mat? I know it might give you double or triple chins, but you know, enjoy them here. Oh my God, I saw this great video video when I was up at 2 o'clock this morning because I don't sleep. Don't worry, that's coming in as a way to go challenge idea also. And this girl drew an adorable heart on her chin, and then she gave herself double triple chins, and she wrote a note on her double triple chins. It really made me laugh because let's be real, we've all got them sometimes depending on the angle that we're looking at something. Okay, just back to your breath now though. Notice where you might still be holding tension, or your shoulders crunching up towards your ears, or maybe you're rounding them off of the mat. Can you relax and release your shoulders and your glutes, your thighs? Relaxing first your mind and then your body here, along with your breath. We'll spend one more minute right here in our starting Savasana. Just starting to inhale in awareness, inhale, belly rises. Exhale out that which does not serve you, belly falls. Okay, we're going to start with a really gentle spine twist today. So go ahead, bend your knees, place the soles of your feet down to the floor. You might need to lift your hips up and readjust. You have the option to come into this spine twist by either simply allowing your knees to fall heavy towards the side, or if you want to come into a little bit of a deeper twist, pick up your left leg and cross it over your right. Go ahead, stretch your arms out to the side, either straight arms or elbows in line with your shoulders, starting to open your chest, come into your goal post. Press your right foot into the floor, move your glutes and hips gently towards the left side of your mat, and then come into your twist. We're actually going to go for a very open twist today. So I know in the past I've encouraged you to think about maybe bringing that bent knee up towards your elbow, but this time I want you to bring those bent knees a little bit closer towards the end of the mat. So if you were a corkscrew, instead of being wound really tight, we're nice and open. Just come back to your breath, using that exhale to relax and release your left shoulder to the mat as much as you can. And if it feels good for you today, turning your chin towards your left shoulder. Your choice if you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, or if you're already working on breathing in through your nose, mouth closed, out through your nose as well. Making sure you're just taking that breath in through your nose to help just kind of cool your breath down before it hits our lungs, helps to purify just a little bit more. Focusing on the stretch that you're creating right now in the left side of your body. Let's take 3 more slow breaths right here. Take your time as we slowly, gently roll back towards the center of your mat. Uncross your legs. Move your hips back to the center. And then this time we're going to drop our knees over to the left. So again, if you want to just keep your knees side by side, that's okay. If you want a little bit of a deeper twist, lift that right leg up, a gentle cross over your left.
use your breath to bring those knees over to the left side of the body as much as possible. If you're having trouble getting those knees over to the side, or if it's really uncomfortable for you to have those knees stacked, you can always use the block that you brought today to either place underneath of your leg in the floor or between your legs to create that spacing in your hips. Come back to your breath, and as you're ready, you can turn your chin towards your right shoulder. Remember, we're going for a really loose corkscrew today, so not knees up towards your elbow, especially that really bent knee, your left knee pointing down towards the end of the mat, just creating as enjoyable of a stretch on your right side as feels appropriate for you and your body today. Let's take 3 more breaths right here. And then take your time to slowly, gently roll onto your back again. Bring your left foot back to center. Bring your right foot down to meet it. Shake those hips out a little bit if you need to, and then we're going to draw both knees in towards our chest. Keeping those legs nice and wide to start with. You can place one hand on top of each of your shins. Relax those shoulders away from your ears. Go ahead, give yourself some circles with those knees. Maybe rolling over slightly towards those hips. We got lots of little circles coming up today too. Just gentle ways to really start to warm up the body and encourage movement. I know if you are particularly having any sort of digestive issues, that sometimes the idea of moving, oh my gosh, just sounds like impossible. But finding some gentle movement will really help to get everything flowing and going. Okay, next up we're going to do wind removing pose. Remember, you always want to start wind removing pose with your right leg to stimulate that ascending colon first. Starting wind removing with your left leg first can actually encourage constipation, so don't do that unless you want to be constipated. Okay, so we're going to interlace our fingers and then place those flat fingers, so no crunching your knuckles, right below your right knee. Go ahead, pull it out so that your rib cage your rib cage and your thigh are not completely pressed into each other, and then draw that right knee back up towards your shoulder. Apply some pressure of your hands, palms into your knee as you begin to stretch your shoulders away from your ears and your elbows down towards your hips. Make sure that your left calf muscle is touching the floor by flexing your toes back towards your face, so you have an active left foot. And then once you're here, start to pull your belly button back towards your spine. If you are drawing that thigh towards the side of your rib cage, knee towards your armpits, elbows pulled towards your hips, stomach sucked in, hopefully you can work to feel a pinching compression sensation in your lower right abdomen, and that's your ascending colon. And if you don't feel that pinching compression sensation, work on pulling that lower belly in just a little bit tighter. Take 2 more breaths right here. And change. Relax your arms down. Allow your heels to touch each other just to make sure that your body is aligned. And then draw that left leg up. Pull it out dramatically away from your rib cage. Interlace all 10 fingers just below the knee. And then pull it back up towards your left shoulder. Roll your right shoulder back down towards the mat. And start to notice what's happening with your left calf muscle. Stretching through your heel, flexing your toes back towards your face, getting that right calf on the floor. Apply some pressure towards your knee. really doing your best. One day we'll get our knee towards our actual armpit. But right now you're also focusing on pulling your shoulders gently away from your ears and stretching your elbows towards your hips. Starting to create some length through your spine. Neck vertebrae flat on the mat. Pull that stomach in. Really thinking about drawing in that lower belly area below your belly button to feel this time the pinching compression sensation on your lower left abdomen. We'll take 2 more breaths right here. And then change. Relax and release that left leg down with your right. We'll take just a moment right here in Savasana, and then we're going to come back into wind removing. We're going to open our hips a little bit more, doing some reclined pigeon, and also a little happy baby. All right, so start to flex those left toes back towards your face, finding some engagement in your left leg. Draw your right leg up again. This time bring your hand to the outside of your right thigh and work to reach hold of your right foot with your left hand. Now you can either keep holding on by your left foot or reach your hands under and do your best to draw your left calf a little closer towards your chest. Relax and release those shoulders away from your ears. Back to your breath, starting to feel that opening of your hip. We'll take 5 breaths right here before we come into happy baby on the same side. Work to slow down your breath. Continue to pull those shoulders away from your ear. Continue to draw your belly button back towards your spine. So don't let that lower belly pooch out right now. We still have that abdominal engagement. Go ahead, take 1 more breath. And then bring your right hand either to your big toe or the outside of your foot, or if you know it's going to be hard to hold on to your foot as you come into happy baby, you can even take your right hand and bring it to the back of your thigh and just work to stretch the sole of your foot up towards the ceiling with that deep knee bend. Three more slow breaths right here. Go ahead, bring that right leg back in. Relax and release it down to the floor. Maybe you want to bob your knee or windshield wipe your feet or just shake your hips out a little bit. Relieve any tension that's built up. Heels touch to begin with. Draw your left leg up. Pull it out towards the side. Grab hold of the outside of the knee and then reach down with that right hand towards your right foot. If you can't grab the right foot, that's okay. You can always just grab hold close by your ankle or on your shin as you work to pull the left heel closer towards the right side of your chest. Make sure that you're not overarching your back, stretching your chin up towards the ceiling. So eyes are looking down towards your ankle. Relax and release those shoulders away from your ears. A gentle opening of those hips right now. Just a couple more breaths right here in our reclined pigeon. And then go ahead, take your left hand, either grabbing hold of the ankle, the big toe, the outside of your foot, the back of your leg. Go ahead, send the sole of the left foot up towards the ceiling for another half happy baby. Find your focus on that one spot. Keep breathing. 3 more breaths from right here. All right, go ahead, bring that right leg back in. Left leg, bring your left leg back out to meet the right. This time we're gonna draw both legs up again, knees to chest. But I encourage you this time to bring your knees together. Feet relaxed side by side. Apply some pressure to push those knees in towards each other and then down towards your chest. You can have your hands on an individual leg, or if it helps to apply a little bit more pressure, grabbing hold of your opposite hand. If you can even reach your opposite elbow, that's fine, but do your best to keep as much of your neck and head on the mat as possible. Even if you had to round up to grab hold of something, relax and release yourself back down towards the mat. Stretch your sacrum, your tailbone towards the end of the mat, and the crown of your head towards the wall behind you. Once again, give yourself double, triple chins. If you're holding onto your opposite hand, just look through that little diamond shape that you created by your knees. Draw that belly in once more. And let's do one more happy baby right here, both legs at the same time. So you can release the pressure of pushing your knees together. Bring the soles of your feet back up towards the ceiling. Remember, you can stay supported in your happy baby, keeping it easier, a little bit less compression if your hands are on the back of your thighs. You're going to end up getting a little bit more compression if you reach up towards your feet, because those are further away and it's going to draw those thighs more in towards your chest. Now, I know if you are really having some belly issues, that your belly, I'm like feeling some shaking and trembling. Your belly might feel really hard right now. It might be really difficult for you to draw that belly button back towards your spine, but all you can do is set the intention and do the best that you can with the body that you have today. Just drawing that belly button back towards your spine is helping to stimulate your internal organs just a teeny bit. All right, and change. Bring the soles of your feet together. Go ahead, relax and release your feet down to the floor. We'll just take one more moment in this hip opener with reclined bound angle before we sit ourselves up. Three more breaths. All right, sticking with our gentle theme, roll over to one side. Pardon me. Take a couple of breaths right here, and then press yourself up to a seated position. But as you press yourself up, keep your feet to the side. You might still need to wiggle around a little bit. Take your left hand and place your left hand down on the floor, and see if you can bring your right heel in a little bit closer. I'm gonna turn towards the back so you can see what's happening with my legs. So I'm trying to find a little nestling of my feet if possible. Top foot on top, and then a little bit of pressure and length with your left hand down on the floor. Either the pads of your fingers, your hand palm. If your wrist is really tired, you can press your knuckle into the floor. We're gonna go ahead and take our right arm, and lift it up. Just finding that really big side body stretch as you stretch through your fingers all throughout the right side of the body. Keep that stretch going. Make sure that you are applying a little bit of pressure into your left hand so we're not collapsing down onto the left side. You're really working to find that lifted length. This is really challenging for you. Think about lifting yourself up on your inhale and coming back into your stretch on your exhale. Still really working to press that left hand into the floor though, and find a little lift. 2 more breaths, however you're enjoying this sort of kneeling mermaid. Nice work. All right, as you come to the top, we're gonna lift ourselves up. We're gonna bring our feet to the other side. So this time, left foot sort of nestles in on top of the right foot. Can you even get your left glute a little closer towards the mat? Just a little closer, no pressure. Place that right hand on the floor, however it feels stable for you, and inhale your left arm. up and over. I know before I said exhale up and inhale down, but you know what? All that matters is your breathing. What feels natural for you? Applying pressure into your right hand into the floor to create a big stretch on your left side. And if you can just hang out in the stretch, hang out in the stretch. But if it feels too much for you, find the movement. If you're just hanging out, pull those shoulders away from your ears, engage your back, draw that belly in. Let's take 3 more breaths. Last one. Beautiful. Gently lift yourself up. What's coming up next? A wide leg child's pose. So again, a nice little stimulation of your belly. Bring those knees out nice and wide. Bring your toes together. Send your hips towards your heels. And walk your hands forward. We're going to do a couple different postures, sort of in this position, in this engagement of our shoulders and in the opening of our hips. Remember, if this doesn't feel good for you to have your hands all the way forward, you can take a generous bend in your elbows. Inhaling in through your nose, exhaling out through your nose or mouth. Take 3 more breaths here and then we'll come up into tabletop. Don't worry, we will come back to child's pose. All right, go ahead, bring yourself up to tabletop. Get your hands, palms under your shoulders. Walk those knees in slightly. From right here in tabletop, we're going to start by making some hip circles. Just working to bring those hips a little closer towards your heels. You can start with your circles nice and small as you're just warming up that body. As it feels comfortable for you, feel free to make these hip circles a little bit larger each time. As you make those hip circles bigger, you might even start to bring in a little bit more into the shoulders, one shoulder forward and then the other to increase the stretch that's happening on the sides of our bodies. Oh, my back is tired. Let's go 2 more times in this direction. And then we'll change direction of our hip circles. So you might need to start off small right now as you change your direction. The goal is getting just the opposite glute towards your heel. Can your opposite butt cheek. So right bum towards left heel, left bum towards right heel. Maybe starting to bring that stretch a little bit more into those shoulders. Don't worry, we're still gonna get a little into those shoulders. A little into the chest. Chest is coming up next. Shoulders after that. Let's do 3 more times around from right here. 3, 2, and 1. Last one. Okay, next up we've got melting heart pose or puppy pose. So you're gonna spread your arms out nice and wide. You're gonna work to keep your glutes stacked above your knees. So it's not like child's pose, because child's pose sends your hips back towards your heels. This time we're just working to get that chest down towards the floor a little bit more, feeling a big stretch between those shoulder blades. The more that you can stretch your chin, your eyes forward, the deeper that you're going to feel a stretch. Really think about spreading your fingers nice and wide, pressing your fingers into the floor. Just allowing your heart to melt down towards the mat. Starting to stimulate those shoulders as well. Let's take 3 more slow breaths here. Awesome. Walk your hands, palms back in. Next up, we're going to thread the needle. Thread the needle with a little bit of a puppy-inspired twist. So spread your left hand fingertips nice and wide. Glue your left hand down to the floor. We're going to inhale our right arm up towards the ceiling. Eyes follow with your hand. And I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. And exhale, allow that right hand to come underneath of your body. Still working to keep your hips stacked on top of the knees. All right, if you are feeling pretty tired in your shoulders and your side and you don't want to add an extra twist here, think about just walking that hand palm forward. We're really working to keep these hips stacked over the knees. All right, and if you want a little bit more of a twist, you're gonna press your fingertips, the pads of your fingers or your hands palms into the floor to rotate that chest a little bit more. You will definitely feel this twist pretty easily by actively pressing your left hand towards the floor, drawing your left shoulder back. Take 3 more breaths here. All right, bring your left hand back to where it was. Draw your right hand out from under. Inhale it up overhead. Relax and release it down to the mat and come into some cat-cows. I saw someone doing cat-cow the other day where I'm demonstrating it right now.
They were adjusting their feet with the posture as well. So when they came into cat, they tucked their toes under, a little extra stimulation of their toes. And when they came into cow, they released the tops of their feet to the floor, a little bit more balanced. Just an option if you want to try something a little bit different today. Remember, we're really working to just keep it as gentle as possible today. All right, let's do 2 more cat-cows. And then we'll go ahead and get the left side. So press into your hands, palms. Make sure you're not wearing those shoulders as earrings to start. Inhale your left arm up towards the ceiling. Eyes follow hand. Exhale, left hand comes underneath. Left shoulder comes down towards the mat. If you're being passive, you can walk your right hand forward. If you're ready for that twist, tent those fingers. Work to draw that right shoulder back while still pressing that left shoulder down towards the mat. Feel that awesome twist. Definitely a posture we've done so many times, but this twist is a new little focus. Three more breaths. Awesome. Press yourself out. Send that left arm up towards the ceiling. Come back into a couple cat-cows. Well, I wonder where. Okay, it's right here. Okay. Next up, we're going to go for a little bit of down dog, you guys. If you really don't want to do down dog, if that does not honor your body today, then you can just come into child's pose and hang out. We won't be in our down dog for too long, just a couple minutes. All right, so coming into down dog, hands, palms underneath of your chest. Step your feet behind you into a plank and then send your hips up towards the ceiling.
You can open your feet as wide as you want for a nice stable base. I want you to really think about bringing that chest towards your thighs so that you're looking towards your toes. And if this is really hard, feel free to take a slight bend in your knee if this is feeling uncomfortable. Rather, you have that big bend in your knee and bring your belly towards your thighs for this nice big open back stretch. Then find that extra rounding in your back. Okay, so we're just going to pedal through one heel and then the other. Just breathing it out. And then we're going to press up onto our toes. Still bringing that belly towards your thigh. Go ahead and rotate on your toes to drop your heels to the left side of your mat. Inhale, press up onto your toes. Exhale, drop down to the right side of the mat. Bring that belly towards your thighs. Inhale up. Exhale down, hanging out for just a full cycle of breath in this little down dog twist. Inhale up. Exhale down. Let's do one more on each side. Inhale up. Exhale, twist those heels. Inhale up. Exhale down. And then one more time back in down dog. See if you can come a little bit deeper. Still feel free to pedal this dog. Feel free to keep that generous bend in your knees while still pedaling. And then we're going to relax those knees down towards the floor. Close leg child's pose this time. Hands stay forward. Last time that we're getting a big shoulder stretch for today as well. Nice slow breath. Inhale, feel the back of your rib cage expand. Exhale, relax and release your stress. Get all the stale air out on each breath. So every inhale can be longer, fuller, fresher. And every exhale, you just get rid of everything you don't need anymore. Last two breaths right here. Feel that thigh pressure along your belly. Awesome. Go ahead, lift yourself back up to tabletop. Go ahead, shift over onto your bum. We're going to kick our right leg out forward and fold your left leg in for some separate leg, separate leg stretching. So the sole of the left foot is touching in towards your right thigh bicep. Flex your left toes back towards your face. We're going to inhale our arms up overhead. Turn towards your right leg. Do your best to square your chest with your thigh. And then we're going to exhale. Feel free for your chin to tuck towards your chest as you gently round forward. This one is a compression posture, not just a stretching posture. So you want to get your forehead to your knee for the stimulation of your metabolism, of your digestive system. If you can't get your forehead to your knee with your leg straight, feel free to bend your leg as much as you need to. And then reach down towards those feet to get that forehead and knee stimulation. Once your head and your foot are touching, you might find that you can even start to kick that leg forward again. Ideally, all 10 fingers are interlaced under the ball of that left foot. Can you pull your belly in nice and tight? Try to get your belly away from your thighs. And then drop your left shoulder down, left elbow down. Kick your right heel forward. See if you can even get that right heel to lift up off the floor. Change. Relax and release that right leg down. Inhale yourself up. And switch your legs. Kick your left leg out. Fold your right leg in. If you already know that it's going to be impossible for you to get that forehead to your knee, go ahead, bend your knee. Turn towards your left side. Do your best, I forgot to mention it on the other side, to keep that right glute down on the floor. Right glute stays down, hinging forward. Forehead comes towards your knee. Applying pressure from your third eye, your drishti, that spot right between and above your eyebrows. Pull your belly in away from your thighs, stimulating those organs again. Drop your right shoulder down, drop your right elbow down, and start to kick through your left heel, engaging your left thigh. See if you can get that left foot to come up off the floor. Don't lose the forehead to knee compression. And change. Lift yourself up. Go ahead and relax your arms down by your side. We got one more spine twist, you guys. Kick your left leg forward. Bring your right leg up and over your left. It can be really high up towards your thigh or a little closer towards the chin, just not right on the outside of the knee. Find that lifted length to begin with. Oh my gosh, why did I get the hiccups? Belly pulled in tight, bring your right hand behind you. Open your chest. Inhale those arms up overhead. Exhale your left hand down towards the mat and apply pressure with the back of your arm to help you find some more length through the crown of your head. Pull that belly in and gently turn towards your right shoulder. Inhale, keep finding that length. Exhale, twist. One more time. Inhale, find your length. Exhale, twist. Get all the stale air out. And slowly, gently come back to the center. Kick your right leg out in front of you. Fold your left leg over your right. Bring your hands behind you close by the base of the spine. Find that lifted length in your chest. Inhale your right arm up and over, and exhale your right hand fingertips down to the mat. I have the back of my right arm pressing against my left thigh to help me find a little bit more of a twist. So press into your left hand, lift your chest, sternum, and exhale, turn to your left shoulder. Use a couple breaths. Remember, we're going to stay here for about 3 breaths to find that openness. Hi, Fred. To find that length. One more big breath in here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, gently twist. And then slowly, gently untwist. We have just another active posture. There's time. There's time. All right, so we're going to come into a squat before we do one more bound angle and then savasana. If a squat doesn't honor you, you can bring both of those heels in nice and close and just squeeze your belly towards your thighs, making the crooks or hooks with your elbow. Crooks, what are we, English muffins? And then pulling your belly to your chest for stomp. But if you're ready for something a little bit more, turn the feet to a 45-degree angle. We're going to press ourselves up and come into a squat, doing the best that you can with the body you have today to release those heels down towards the floor. And maybe they touch and maybe they don't. Maybe you want to open your feet up a little bit wider. You can even switch where the weight is from one side to the other. Just practice getting one foot down on the floor. Remember, this is your yoga practice. It's not yoga perfect. There's no such thing as yoga perfect. Every day is different. Every day our bodies are different. It's all a question of what's on your mind? How did you eat? How did you sleep? How are you treating yourself? Let's take 2 more breaths right here. Awesome. Release your hands back down to the floor. We're going to come into bound angle. This time upright bound angle, so soles of the feet come together. Just one last stretch in those hips. You can stay nice and lifted here in your bound angle, either having your hands on your ankles or maybe interlacing fingers behind your pinky toes. I like to do that because it gives me a little bit of leverage to pull on my feet while stretching my knees down. If you're feeling really open, you can always hinge forward as well, even using your elbows to help drive those knees a little closer towards the floor. Remember, we're desk people. I think we're all desk people now that we're working from home. And that means that we're constantly in a seated position and our hip flexors are pretty tight. It's very normal if you are not anywhere near as open in your bound angle as I am. I happen to be hyper flexible. So for me, I need to think a lot about using my strength and limiting my flexibility. Because remember, everyone's body is different. We're all focusing on what makes us us and how we can be the best version of ourselves. All right, take your time, we're slowly going to lower ourselves back and enjoy a nice little final Savasana together. We've got exactly 3 minutes of Savasana. If you have a longer amount of time that you can hang out on the floor and just truly allow your body to absorb your practice and your breath right now, I encourage you to stay in your Savasana for at least 5 minutes, maybe even 10 minutes. If you get to Savasana and you're like, done, and you're getting up from your mat and you're out of here, you are missing out big time. Savasana is also a posture. So bring to this corpse pose the same focus, the same energy and dedication that you brought to all the other postures from today's class. And know that every time that you make a voluntary movement, you're coming out of the posture. So if you're fixing your pants or if you're messing with your hair, you're no longer in Savasana. I know sometimes we have to fix our pants, but would you have fixed your pants in the middle of wind removing? Did you fix your pants in the middle of squat, or did you just let it be? That's part of the yoga too. Finding yourself in a situation that might not be ideal or as comfortable as we like, and just finding the mindfulness and the breath to get through those tense movements and moments of our day. Come back to just the focus on inhale, belly rises, exhale, belly falls. Relaxed, deep breaths. Okay, take a little wiggle of your fingers, a little wiggle of your toes, or stay in the Savasana for at least 2 more minutes if you can. If you, like me, have a phone call you need to be in at 1 o'clock, let's go ahead and close class together. All right, so either drawing your knees towards your chest and gently rocking yourself up like a ball, or letting those knees fall over to the side and pressing yourself back up to a seated position. Let's come into Sukhasana, easy pose, for our first time today. Maybe you even want to practice success in meditation like we did last week. Go for it. Go ahead, bring your hands, palms to the center of your chest with your thumbs touching your sternum. Tuck your chin to your chest and take this moment to truly honor yourself. Thank you guys so much for taking the time, for bringing your energy to today's practice. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you took this time to refill your own cup. If you have any questions or concerns about anything that we said or did today, you know you can always reach out to me or any of the other Health Fitness team. If you're watching today, please know we're having some issues getting on the MITRE network, so find us on Facebook. And as always, continue to think good thoughts, speak good words, do good deeds, eat good foods, nourish yourself from the inside and out, and share that with others. I hope to see you guys all again soon. I hope that today's practice helps you feel your most regular self. Namaste.